Hello everyone. Today I shall read Chapter 8, Battle in Mumbai 2011. Recalling the horrifying battle that continued for 4 months in Mumbai gives me goosebumps. It was our greatest challenge, and the little soldier of 10 faced many jerks along the way. He was worn out and bald from the strong multi-drug chemotherapy that no doubt killed the man-eater, and surgery had removed the killer. Along with the fighter, Bhaskar and I were frail to our bones, but that was not an issue to frown about. We were contented that the young warrior won the battle, and though he was bruised and battered, he was indeed victorious. Just as I treasured every bit of Ruplu's memory, clothing, shoes and other accessories, his hospital files, investigation reports and films that weighed in kgs were well stocked and secured. It required me to go through the files of Prince Ali Khan Hospital, Pak and PD Hinduja Hospital, Mumbai to jot down the happenings of the battle. Dr. Tapan Saikia and Dr. Manish Agarwal maintained their documents so meticulously from day one that they present a clear image of the history, clinical findings, investigations, and treatment protocol which helped me to write about the battle. 24 to 2011. Bhaskar had given the slide and block to the laboratory at Pak for a second opinion and review. 25th to 2011. Dear Ruplu was admitted to the Department of Medical Oncology under Dr. Tapan Saikia. We took a cabin that had a healthy setting. I occupied the attendant bed and Bhaskar was provided with a mattress on the floor. Dr. Tapan Saikia examined him and noted weight 32 kgs, height 140 centimeters, BSA 1.2 meters square, general condition good without any neurological deficit and vitals normal. The reports of investigations done in Assam were documented. 26 to 2011. Blood tests, CBC, serum electrolytes, creatinine, LFT were done and were normal. Viral markers were negative. Chest X-ray and 2D echocardiography were normal. PET-CT scan was done in Jaslok Hospital, for which Poo was again mobilized on a stretcher and ambulance. The preparation for the fight itself amounted to countless needle pricks, like the soldiers who face countless bullets in the battlefield. The little warrior was also exposed multiple times to the radiation hazards of X-rays and scans. 2/3/2011 to 6/3/2011. Ruplu headed for the battlefield. The silent warrior, too young and innocent to question, but knew that the best service would be rendered upon him by the best oncologist from Assam. In Hojai, he grew up in the midst of caring and protective doctors. The induction EFT Ewing sarcoma family tumor protocol for chemotherapy was to be started. It is a multi-drug therapy usually administered via a central venous port or peripherally inserted central catheter PICC PIC as doses continued for days. Initially, the warrior had a large peripheral cannula to access his veins, and week 1 chemo began. Injections vincristine, etoposide, ifosfamide and mesna continued for 5 days. 9/3/2011. Another dose of injection vincristine was given. The first few doses of chemo made Ruplu suffer from grade 2 nausea, loss of appetite, oral mucositis and pain abdomen. He became so weak that it was very difficult for us to see him suffer so. One morning, Bhaskar became so impatient that he threw the TV remote angrily on the floor and thought of discontinuing the treatment. Dr. Saikia happened to be on his rounds and understood very well what was going on in the cabin. Immediately he called us out of the cabin and he shared his own story of being patient when his son had suffered some intestinal problem. He said, "Parents need to be very calm and patient in front of the sick child. If we lose temper, the child will be more agitated and feel hopeless." Mr. Sirajuddin Ajmal and his wife took the trouble to come and see Ruplu at park. Mrs. Ajmal gifted Ruplu a huge basket of fruits which he could not cherish due to nausea and vomiting. That was just the beginning. Ruplu had a long way to go. 10/3/2011. Pooh was discharged. On discharge, we accommodated in a hotel and not in a guest house. We would not let Ruplu feel like a patient once he was out of the hospital. Guest houses near those hospitals would be packed with cancer patients and their attendants from all over the country, and such an environment would make a little soldier more sick and fearful. Though Pooh was comfortable in the hotel and was served special boiled meal, he suffered a vincristine-induced pain in the abdomen. 16/3/2011. We reported to Park for week 2 chemo. Ruplu was still not allowed to bear weight on his right leg and a walker was yet to be bought. Hence Bhaskar carried him on his back as we took the lift and then to the cab. Blood tests were done and a low dose of vincristine was administered. Pompey took the trouble to come from Diffu to give company to her dear nephew. One night he suffered the toxic effects of vinca alkaloids, which is vincristine-induced paralytic ileus, where the small intestine becomes adynamic. It became unbearable for the fighter as he experienced severe bloating. Besides the regular anti-flatulent medicines, we tried Eno from the market but in vain. At midnight he was taken to the emergency department and Pompey was constantly with us. Injectable medicines, a nasogastric tube, IV fluid relieved him from his distressing symptoms. It was nice to have our near ones during the battle. Rintu had visited us and so did Dibu, Munubaido's son. He had come from Pune and Ruplu had a good company to play the Monopoly and go for a drive. Sumi and Nilu also had come from Bangalore. One morning Pooh awoke and to our shock his white pillow was in a mess with bunches of hair. He had a chemo-induced hair fall. Oh Lord, those were the bitter days that we faced. My dear was cool and expressionless as if nothing had happened. He only wanted a barber to be called for and we did so. All bald now, Sumi pampered him by a good head massage and by cutting his toenails. 22nd 3rd 2011. Blood tests were done before week 3 chemo. 23/3/2011 to 27/3/2011. Pooh was readmitted to Park for week 3 chemo. Vincristine was omitted because of its side effects. The warrior again faced the difficult moments of needle pricks, the megatherapy, the drugs to increase the cell counts, regular vital checkups, the cautiousness with the cannula and drips, especially at night. The mouth soreness added to the agony and his meals were reduced merely to liquids. The time when this small child should have been playing with little kids, he was fighting his life's worst battle. 28/3/2011. He was discharged and thankfully the Ajmals arranged an accommodation for us at ex-executive trustee of Hum Hospital, Mr. Ataur Rahman's apartment at Crawford Market in Muhammad Ali Road. We made room for ourselves along with the tenant Mr. Samsul Bhai alias Samsul Haq. Our stay there has many cherishable memories and a few difficult moments to share. As I write, I reflect upon a series of flashbacks: 3 rooms in a row, a small kitchen, and a bathroom with an Indian style toilet adjacent to room 3. Room 1, a small room with a twin bed where Ruplu and I shared. It contained a plastic chair, a small shelf, and a window with a shade where we could hang our wet clothes. Room 2, the middle room that consisted of 2 to 3 chairs and a table with a TV. Bhaskar slept on the floor of this room. Room 3, it had an almirah and a table. In this room, Samsul Bhai sorted and had his pieces of agar wood or aloes wood packed for his incense and perfume business. At first, it was little difficult to adjust to the whole new setup, but slowly we got accustomed. Getting accommodation in Mumbai, that too free of cost and away from the rush of guest houses, was indeed a blessing in disguise. We felt free to stay there and also got the opportunity to cook the required nutritious food for Ruplu. Samsul Bhai is a good human and my boy soon built a relationship with him. Both enjoyed wrapping the agar wood and agar bottles. By then Ruplu ambulated with his new walker, but a back-breaking situation arose as the apartment did not have a lift. The following chemo doses were given on daycare basis at Park. Bhaskar used all his energy to carry Ruplu on his back and tread the stairs to and from the second floor of the apartment. It was a pathetic sight, and a father did all that he could do for his dear son. I would carry the walker and a bag with water bottles, snacks, medicines, and tissue. Crawford Market is a very busy area, and as we waited for the cab, our eyes would be roving. We would gaze with curiosity at the life of the people residing on the footpath. Some would be bathing with a bucket of water, some cooking or washing their clothes. I have another difficult moment to share. Since the apartment had the Indian squat toilet and Ruplu was restricted from squatting, we made an arrangement for his comfortable defecation. Oh my God, what an idea I had! I would place the bedpan on a chair in room 1 and without any hesitation Pooh would use it. But if Samsul Bhai had guessed, I would definitely hesitate to walk with the bedpan to the washroom. Ruplu was never satisfied from using tissue papers. Half cleaned, he would make his way to the toilet. The washroom was too small to be used for a chair bedpan makeshift toilet. 30th 3 2011. The histopathological report from Tata Memorial Hospital was obtained. It also reported malignant round cell tumor, Ewing sarcoma oblique PNET, M1C2 and FIL1 weakly positive. The scheduled dose of vincristine could not be given as his total leukocyte count had gone down. Instead, he was advised injection filgrastim for 2 days to stimulate the white blood cells. Now I feel those missed doses must have been one of the reasons for micrometastasis that had flared up later. I end this chapter here. Meet you again with the next part of the battle in Mumbai. Till then, stay safe. Bye bye.